want to clear something up. So, wisdom in society. If you say the word wisdom, or if I say to someone, and this is where this video is coming from, because I can't help but say this to people, about wisdom being the most important thing that you can invest in. So don't get plagued by this misconception in society that wisdom is a taboo, right? And I just want to tell you that wisdom is the guiding factor behind all of your life decisions. It's your guiding system, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, it's your guiding system, and it's going to dictate all of your actions in this life, and it's going to dictate the quality of the outcome of all of your actions and all of your decisions and all of your thinking. All of it. Every single speck of human action and human thinking that you imprint in this world is determined directly, whether you like it or not, by the amount of wisdom and the quality of wisdom that you have cultivated within yourself, or been imparted with by your parents, things of this nature. Wisdom that's been cultivated in this way by conditioning throughout your life. So, doesn't it seem pretty important to cultivate wisdom, to stretch yourself out, and this is the key, make wisdom the priority? Oh no, but I'm not really into that. I'm not really into it. Like that's not really me. Like I can see you're a bit like that. Yeah, like that suits you, but it's not really me. No, it is you, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not, it's you. Whether you like it or not, wisdom is the guiding factor behind every single, the quality of every aspect of your life. So it needs to be the priority if you want a great life, that is. If you just want to be like everyone else and fit in, and this is where the plague takes place. This is where the infection takes place. And it sounds extreme, the plague, the infection, but it really, that's the most accurate description of the way that society imprints its values into you. It plagues you. It infects you. Because wisdom, this is it in that little role play of, oh, that's not me. This is the message that society gives you, that learning wisdom, stretching yourself out as a priority, or even just a tool, to ingrain wisdom of cultures past and different lineage, different schools of thought that are available to us, thank God, through the internet nowadays and through books. So there's really no excuse. It's on every medium. Even if you're poor, you can go to the library, and if you're homeless, you can. I don't condone this for you, but if you're homeless, you can go, which you're not because you're watching this on YouTube. If you are, then big ups, mad respect. You can go to the library and steal a book based on higher purpose, but obviously you may not have the emotional sort of foundation to be able to look at thriving rather than coping. But this world is for us to thrive, and the only way that we can thrive is through learning wisdom. And society tells you that this is weird, this is a taboo, this is not normal, you have to be that type of person, or even so when I say, or when we conclude that yes, learning wisdom is a good thing, it's not just a good thing, it's completely imperative. It needs to be the priority if you want a fulfilled and beautiful life. If you want a fulfilled and beautiful life. So where do we learn wisdom? Where do we learn it? Look at the guys who made the Upanishads, the ancient ancient Hindu wisdom. Look at the Hindu sort of side of things. Look at Buddhism. Just look at wisdom. It doesn't matter where it's from. It doesn't matter if it's Eastern. And I'm not really that spiritual. I'm not really the guy who's got the Om tattoo and the and talks about the Buddha and Hindu. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. These guys, they were dedicated to wisdom. What do you think this scientific study of, at the moment I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita, and the Sankhya lineage of was the school of philosophy, basically. It's this and it's like a scientific method of understanding human nature. These guys, they were dedicated to one thing: learning the truth. Is that not important? Is that not important? Oh no, but I'm not really that spiritual. You are, whether you like it or not. This life includes you, whether you like it or not. The problem with my phone. But I was able to make a tea, so life's good. Only if you learn wisdom. So this life includes you, whether you like it or not. So which part of it are you going to be? Are you going to be on the side of life which is thriving? Are you going to dip your toes into thriving? In which case, you cannot go with what the society tells you is normal. Because if I'm speaking to, let's say, a family member, or those sort of interactions you have where maybe you're hanging out with extended family, or you're with some friends and you're with their family, and they're like, oh, so what are you into? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm into, I quite like philosophy, like Eastern philosophy. At the moment I'm really into that. And they're like, oh, right, so what is that? So, oh, right, so it's like like Hindu philosophy at the moment, looking into, and people are like, ooh, you need to rid yourself of this expectation plague, because, and this is the point of the video, is to make you aware of this expectation that you do not dip your toes into literature and information presented you by people who were dedicated to one thing: understanding effective human functioning in this life for fulfillment. Does that not seem like it should be normal to learn? Rather, we're following the mandate of, he's just resigned, but we're following the mandate of Boris Johnson, and the way that his mandate and that system just in general dictates the information that we receive through the media. Instead, we're following, maybe not directly, but because our parents follow that, and because their friends follow that, and because culture as a whole follows that, we end up following that. So if, instead of following people who have dedicated their whole human selves, in fact, the guys who created Sankhya philosophy and the ancient mystics of past, they dedicated their whole human self. They gave up their lives in the same way that Jesus Christ did, to provide us with information, and to provide this whole ecosystem of oneness, the world, with information that could ingrain the truth within you so that you can thrive and have a fulfilled human life. And this is for everyone's learning. It's free. In fact, it's more free than the media outlets that may ask you for subscriptions. It's like, please read this. Many of these institutions out there, if you go to a Buddhist center or or a Hindu center, they're not going to ask you for shit, my friend. They're going to give you food for free because they're like, we want you to learn wisdom. We want to nourish you to learn wisdom. We want to welcome you in with love to learn wisdom. So look at these signs. Look at who in society treats me with unconditional love. Where could I go in society where people would be completely and entirely accepting? That's where I should go, because that seems right, doesn't it? That seems healthy, that seems natural. But instead we just take on unconsciously the belief structures of a sick society. And this we need to watch out for. So specifically in this video, we need to watch out for the belief that it's a bit weird or taboo to prioritize, number one, prioritize wisdom, because as I said before, it dictates the quality of every single action you take in this life. Directly dictates. I've seen this in my life. I've gone from being completely neurotic, completely mentally ill, really, is a very accurate way to put it. I was mentally ill, I was neurotic, I was so socially anxious, too anxious to even go downstairs and speak to my parents. I was too self-conscious. I was too self-conscious to mix with my friends without being drunk. I was mentally ill. I learned wisdom. Now I live in Mexico. I don't care. I'm listening to God. I'm listening to life. Life gives me the intuitive hunch. I have the intuitive hunch through life that I should go somewhere rogue and I should go to Mexico. I see Mexico everywhere. I listen to the signs. I go to Mexico, the best decision I've ever made. This is directly because of wisdom that I've learned. Directly. And this doesn't mean that you should go and live somewhere completely different and completely and make big decisions in your life in terms of movement and geographical location. No, that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that everything will change for the better 100%, tenfold. Like, it will improve. The quality of everything improves if you ingrain wisdom. So it's up to you whether you make it the priority or not. But for me, to not make it the priority is insanity. Because the only reason you won't is because of expectations placed on you by a sick culture.